What if I told you some of the wildest conspiracy theories actually turned out to be true? Like, the stuff you whisper about with your friends at 3 in the morning, or those things you read on a deep dive Reddit thread that make you go, "No way, that's too crazy." Well, get ready. We're pulling back the curtain on some of the most insane, unbelievable, and downright terrifying conspiracies that weren't just theories after all. Government secrets, hidden agendas, plots so elaborate they could be a Hollywood blockbuster. But here's the kicker. They actually happened. We'll dive into declassified files, whistleblower testimonies, documents, records, the ones governments were forced to admit. Okay, let's start with a big one. A name that's become almost legendary in conspiracy circles. MKUltra. This sounds like the plot of a sci-fi horror movie, right? The idea that the CIA was actively trying to develop mind control techniques. For over 2 decades, from the early 1950s to 1973, the CIA ran this top-secret and highly illegal program. Their goal? To find a truth serum, to figure out how to break down human minds for interrogation, hypnosis, sensory deprivation, psychological torture, and a whole cocktail of drugs, most famously LSD. They would dose people without their knowledge, students, patients in mental facilities, prisoners, even regular people. For years, this was a conspiracy. People were dismissed as paranoid. But in the mid-70s, the Church Committee uncovered the program. The CIA tried to destroy records. Most MKUltra files were ordered shredded in 1973. But a misfiled box of around 20,000 documents survived by mistake. Those documents, plus whistleblowers, blew the lid off it all. Yes, they drugged and tortured people without consent. Yes, it was real. And yes, the missing pieces are what keep you up at night. So, you think you can trust your government to tell you the truth about war? Operation Northwoods might make you think twice. This one is just, wow. In the early 60s, tensions with Cuba were sky high. The Joint Chiefs drafted a formal proposal, bone-chilling in its specificity. They proposed committing acts of terrorism on American soil, blow up a U.S. ship in Guantanamo Bay and blame Cuba, sink boats full of refugees and pin it on Havana. They even proposed hijacking a civilian plane. Swap it with a remote-controlled drone and blow the drone up over the ocean to simulate a fatal crash. This was buried in Pentagon archives for decades. In 1997 it was declassified. Operation Northwoods, signed by Joint Chiefs members. Thankfully, Kennedy and McNamara rejected it, horrified, and shutting it down. But the terrifying part? It was proposed at all. How many other plans were never rejected? This next one is not just a conspiracy, it's a tragedy. The Tuskegee study of untreated syphilis in the Negro male. In 1932, the Public Health Service enrolled 600 black men, 399 with syphilis, 201 controls. They were told they were being treated for bad blood, promised free exams, meals, burial insurance. When penicillin became the effective cure in the 1940s, researchers withheld it. The study, supposed to be 6 months, went on for 40 years. Men went blind, some went insane. Many died from a curable disease. At least 28 died directly from syphilis, many more from complications. In 1972, whistleblower Peter Buxton leaked the story to AP reporter Gene Heller. Public outcry forced the study to end and led to major changes in law and clinical protections. Institutional review boards were established to protect human subjects. But the damage was done. Only 74 of the original subjects were alive. Dozens infected family members and children suffered. It's a horrifying legacy of racism and deceit. We usually think of the FBI as catching criminals and stopping terrorists. But for years the Bureau waged a secret illegal war against American citizens, civil rights leaders, anti-war protesters, feminist organizations, black power movements. COINTELPRO, counterintelligence program, used surveillance, wiretaps, and infiltration. They forged letters, created fake publications, and planted informants to sow distrust. One of their most famous targets was Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. They wiretapped his phones, bugged hotel rooms, and tried to break him publicly and psychologically. In 1971, activists broke into an FBI office in Media, Pennsylvania, stealing over 1,000 classified documents. Those files were the smoking gun. Subsequent investigations confirmed the program and led to new limits on FBI power. The activists who felt watched were not paranoid. The conspiracy was real. Wars are started over acts of aggression, invasions, attacks. The Gulf of Tonkin incident gave LBJ the justification to escalate the Vietnam War. On August 2, 1964, the USS Maddox was attacked by North Vietnamese torpedo boats. 2 days later, a second attack was reported, and the story was presented as a clear act of aggression. Johnson addressed the nation and pushed Congress to pass the Gulf of Tonkin Resolution. It was essentially a blank check for war. But even at the time there were doubts. The sailors weren't sure, the weather and sonar were confusing. It was likely confusion, misinterpretation, and a rush to judgment by officials wanting a reason to escalate. Declassified documents and a 2005 NSA report confirmed the second attack almost certainly never happened. The government misrepresented facts to the American people and to Congress to get the war they wanted. The result? A decade-long war costing millions of lives, American and Vietnamese. A stark example of how a distorted event can change history with tragic consequences. This one is deeply unsettling. Project Sunshine. The name sounds almost cheerful, but the reality was ghastly. After WO, scientists scrambled to understand the effects of nuclear fallout. They needed to know how strontium-90 accumulated in bones and teeth, especially in children. To study this, they needed human tissue samples. So the Atomic Energy Commission and U.S. Air Force built a network to collect body parts worldwide, often without consent. They took tissue from the recently deceased, children and babies included, before families knew. They lied to families, forged forms, and in some cases took entire limbs. The scale was massive, thousands of bodies over many years. The truth came out in the 1990s after an official government report. Officials admitted it, strontium-90 levels were rising, but the way they got the data was a profound ethical violation, a conspiracy of silence between scientists and officials who treated the dead as specimens. Alright, we've covered proven conspiracies. Now, a living conspiracy, Denver International Airport. On the surface, it's just a big, busy airport. But look closer. Its capstone credits a New World Airport Commission and shows Masonic symbols. People point to Freemasons and the Illuminati. The murals depict apocalyptic scenes, cities in flames, crying children. Outside, the giant blue Mustang, nicknamed Lucifer, has demonic red eyes and a tragic backstory. DIA was massively over budget and behind schedule. People noticed huge amounts of earth moved. Theorists say those tunnels could be a doomsday bunker for the global elite. Airport officials lean into the rumors with playful exhibits and denial. The New World Airport Commission was an opening ceremony group. They insist the underground areas are just baggage systems. Whether a hub for the Illuminati or just a weirdly designed airport, DIA remains one of America's most persistent and fascinating conspiracy theories. So there you have it, from secret CIA mind control programs, to plots to start wars, a 40-year medical betrayal, and an airport with murals people can't stop talking about. It's a lot to take in. It blurs the line between paranoid theory and hidden, terrifying truth. Tell me in the comments which theory shocked you the most. I'll be reading them all, because this stuff fascinates me. If your mind is blown, give this video a like. Hit subscribe and turn on notifications so you don't miss the next dive into the unknown. We have so much more to explore. Stay curious, stay skeptical, and always question what you're told. Remember, sometimes the truth is stranger than fiction. Thanks for going down this rabbit hole. Which one kept you up at 3 a.m.?